How do D&D charges influence the efficiency of supply chains and the overall operational expenses incurred by businesses?
So I think I alluded to this a little earlier, right? If you think about the origin of these charges, it was to ensure that shippers were not keeping their boxes in container terminals at their own for their own benefit, for an undetermined amount of time, right? That only benefits really one party, the importer, essentially. Everybody else sort of suffers. The terminal gets clogged up with boxes that are not moving, which inhibits, kind of management of the yard. The terminal operator has to deal with that. The container line has to deal with a yard that would be overflowing with import containers that are not moving, affecting how quickly it can unload and discharge containers and then reload export containers. And then, I think this is something, all of these were things that we saw during the pandemic, kind of at a historic level. What we also saw was other shippers, Shalabh referenced the mid-market shipper. We saw a lot of shippers that did not have extremely favorable demurrage terms get impacted significantly by companies that did. So if you have, for instance, the big box retailer that has a lot of free time in their contract, maybe as much as 30 days potentially, that's going to tie up space in the terminal, and that's going to influence or impact shippers that don't have such favorable terms. If that box is not retrievable because there are so many laden containers on the yard, you're going to incur demurrage through no fault of your own because other importers' boxes are sort of clogging that terminal, right? So you can understand the thought process behind this. And similarly, the container line wants its box back. It doesn't make money with the box. Absent detention fees, it doesn't make money if the box is stuck somewhere at an inland distribution center or a ramp somewhere and is not moving back to the origin to be reloaded with very lucrative freight, right? So you can understand that sort of from an efficiency standpoint, the need to have some sort of motivation to get these boxes moving in both directions. From an operational expenses perspective, terminals, and we've had this described to us, Journal of Commerce, we've had this described to us very clearly by terminals, whether it's a private terminal operator or a port authority that runs its own terminals. If you're having to move boxes to get to boxes that need to move because someone has picked it up, a drayage provider has come to pick it up, that's a cost that's incurred. Every time a box is moved on a yard, there's a cost that's incurred, right? So they're always thinking, how can we flow these containers out of the terminal as quickly as possible? And those rebound into operational costs, right? And those have to be assessed to someone, whether it's directly to their customer, which is the carrier, or to the shipper or the drayage provider. Someone is paying those costs. Someone has to reimburse the terminal for essentially all of that work. And one of the inefficiencies that's created by all of this is that you often have parties such as a drayage provider that are not actually anywhere on the contract between the container line and the shipper, that are essentially paying a fee on behalf of their own customer, the shipper, but they weren't part of the contract that was involved in demurrage or detention at all. So you have these very clunky sort of commercial relationships that have to fit within the legal contract, of which sometimes the terminal is assessing a fee to the drayage provider, and neither the terminal nor the drayage provider are even in the contract that's specifying what the free days are. So it's a lot of inefficiencies are caused, but you can't wipe away detention demurrage, or else there'd be no motivation to move those boxes efficiently.
Thank you for that, Eric.